this is Ogre and I'm going to be doing my review for the 1975 movie The Devil's Rain. This movie is very, very weird. It came out in the 70s, and it's directed by Robert Fewest, I think is how you say his last name, and written by Gabe Esso, James Ashton, and Gerald Hopman. And this movie, this family is being harassed by a devilish cult leader who is wanting to get some kind of artifact that they have. Everything that his name is like Jonathan Corbus or something. And he ends up killing like the father of this family and kidnapping the mother, and the son goes out looking for him, hoping to make a deal to get his mother back. He's played by William Shatner, and William Shatner is like really over the top in this movie, which he's always known for his over the top acting, but this one he was really, really over the top in. But this is I don't really like this movie at all. It doesn't really have a very good story. Like, there's a lot of things that don't make sense about it. Like, how did the family get this heirloom? They don't really, or this thing that Corbus is after. It doesn't really go into a lot of details on that, and it just isn't a very well written movie. Most of the cast in here are alright. Ernest Borgnine as Jonathan Corbus is probably the best thing about this movie. Like, out of that cast anyway, he's like the only one that's really good at here. And Tom Skerritt's in here too, and he's alright too. And William Shatner's okay, but and the only reason I ever even gave this movie a chance is because John Travolta this was the very first movie that John Travolta ever appeared in, and I'm a huge, huge John Travolta fan, so that's the main reason I had gotten this movie. And he's not in here very much. He's more of a background character anyway. He's like one of the people that's in the cult, and he's somewhat hard to recognize because he has like this, in the movie his character has no eyes. Like, they use this mold stuff over his eyes and stuff but I mean, you can still tell it's him, but he doesn't really talk or anything. He's kind of in here as a background character. But really and truly, there's not a lot about this movie that I could say I did like. I do think that like the special effects they used at the end of this movie, because there was like this weird scene where it starts raining and all of the cult people start melting and stuff. I think that the special effects in those scenes were actually pretty cool. It looked pretty good. It looked like melting wax. I did think that was kind of cool, and everything, but really, besides that, there's not really anything about this movie that I could really say I liked. It's not very memorable. The cast, like I said, is just alright. And it's just not very good. It was made to feel like a B movie, but it really doesn't even feel like that. It just feels like a really, really bad movie, and I definitely would consider this one of the worst horror movies I've ever seen. I'm actually debating which one I would say is probably my worst of all time as far as horror movies that I've seen. It's between this one and Thanksgiving 3. I probably would go for this one because this one was more meant to be a horror movie than Thanksgiving 3 was. But this is just an absolutely terrible movie. And unless you're like a huge fan of John Travolta, or if you really like Ernest Borgnine or William Shatner, I mean, if you're big fans of them, I mean, sure, why not give it a shot? But if not, then there's not really much point into this movie. It's just not very good. It was created by or like one of the people who helped make this movie, and he has an appearance, and I'm not sure who he plays. Is like the founder of the Satan worshiping church and stuff. It's really weird. I just really hate this movie. It just is not entertaining to me. Now I've heard that it does have a cult following, which I guess makes sense, seeing it's a cult movie in a lot of different ways, but I really don't like this movie, and everything like that. Like I said, the story is terrible, the characters are not very well written, the acting is kind of alright, not real great, which I usually overlook acting in these type of movies, because you can't really expect like great performances, but man, this movie could have just been a lot better. And like I said, the special effects are really about the only thing about it that I think were pretty good. And I did think that when Ernest Borgnine's character like turns into this goat demon type looking person, I think the makeup and stuff on him looked really good in those scenes too, and he was pretty creepy looking. But that's really about all I can give props to in this movie. It was not very good. But let me know in the comments if you've seen The Devil's Rain. Do you think it's a good movie? Do you think it's a bad movie? Let me know in the comments what you think of this movie, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.
This is the song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend.
That's enough, guys.
Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever just because this is the song that doesn't end.
How do I turn you